with your last breath, call me Phosphorus!
Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerd's NewsStand, and we're going to take a look at Geiger #1. Now, this is GEOFF Johns' new book. It came out yesterday. I was hoping to review it, and I got behind, so we're going to take a look at it today. It's definitely very good. Now, my biggest criticism, I'm going to say right up front, is it had a very much like Dr. Phosphorus meets the Spectre kind of vibe. And that's not a bad thing. I like both of those characters. But I'm hoping we get a little distance from that feeling a little bit later on. And it does seem like it's going to happen that way. But even so, make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube is doing a wonderful purge where everybody loses subs. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always, hit like, leave me a comment down below. Let's take a look because this is awesome. Now, it is by GEOFF Johns and Gary Frank. So you're going to have that doomsday clock vibe going on. And I kind of had to get past that, right? It's very doomsday-esque in setup and in, just in setup and art, right? So Brad Anderson does the colors, perfect, amazing job. But what we get here is basically a retelling of a story of a man with the last name of Geiger. Now, they're talking about him in this, and they say, who was he? He was the glowing man. He was Joe Glow. A bunch of different names, the walking bomb. Basically, what happened is a nuclear bomb went off, right? And because of this, it is radioactive. The only way to go outside is to wear one of these suits. Now, this is the character they're talking about, and he was very much so a family man. I absolutely love that that is at the core. Now, from the end, it does still feel, obviously, spoilers, click away, click away, click away. It does still feel like his family is still in there, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. This is probably my favorite in the entire book. I love the fact that this father is trying to calm down his daughter. It's so freaking sweet. It's really adorable. So what happens is they have a bunker, right? This goes off and they need to get in now. But unfortunately, some people show up and shoot Geiger right away. And they're like, we're taking this bunker over. Da, 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 da. His first name's Tarek, by the way. Very cool name. I've never heard that before. I like it. So they say they're going to take it over, right? And Tarek, like I said, is such a family man that he tells his wife and his daughter to get in, close the door, because he'll give his life and his life of his puppers for them to be safe. And as they go to shoot him, we see this. And I really like this image right here. It's so good, right? Like, it's beautiful. I think the way that this art is done is so good. But again, we saw something very similar to this, I think, in Doomsday Clock 12. So you got to kind of get past that. You got to maybe change it up a little bit, how you do your formatting on your pages or something. But beautiful. I love Gary Frank's art, though. So now we flash to 20 years later. And these people are trying to find basically anything, right, to pay their king. And we're going to get to the king here in a little bit because it seems like he's like this terrible, crazy person. Oh, wait till you see him. But they stumble across this and they're not exactly sure what the hell it is. And this is beautiful. Okay, this is my second favorite part in this because, or page in this, because I love the way this looks. Like, he looks really menacing, but almost like, I don't know, maybe I could take him. But then that's exactly what they think. They start to, say, well, this is ours, da-da-da. Yeah, no, it's not. They have like an awesome freaking fight scene. And I love how like, he's like, you guys are going to go. And they have this whole joke about maybe you should have put up a sign, right? And he's like, you guys are going to go, right? I'll put up a sign, but you guys are going to go. And he starts to glow and he says, in neon, fucking love it. So this is what I mean by he reminds me of a little bit of Dr. Phosphorus. And the look is very similar. Beside the cape, there's a lot of similarities. But even so, I like this character. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just giving my base criticism here. So he goes back into his little area, and we get to see him talking to his wolves, his two-headed wolf. And it almost seems like, I don't know if it has something to do, because obviously they've been come across some radiation, right? So I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but it almost seems like they're actually understanding each other, or there's some kind of link there to where they are understanding each other. So we get to see Tarek Geiger, and he's got, kind of his setup here and everything. And we see some old comics, and those are going to actually be important, right? And I'm wondering if there's more of a connection to this comic book artist than what we know. A lot of comic book artists use pen names, Gail Simone, Frank Whiteley. Those are all pen names, right? So I'm wondering if there's something there. But we see him again with the doomsday clock feel. We got some pork and beans. And we see them fed and him fed, and it's really quite sad to see that, he says, what book tonight? I'm bored of them all too. What he wouldn't give for a new book. But it's sad to see, that this whole issue, this whole person that was such a family man has been kind of brought down to brass tacks. He's got a pet, sure, but he's alone, and you can see how many days have passed, and he's trying to figure out a way to save his family. And that's what I mean here. He says, I know you can't hear me, but I'm here until it's safe to open that door. We're going to be a family again. So, I don't, here's the thing. If they're still in there, how are they getting supplies? I know they said in the beginning they did have supplies, but it said 20 years later. They didn't have 20 years worth of supplies. So I'm curious to see how that's possible, or when he opens the door, it's going to be really sad if they're dead. So let's meet our king. He looks like he's a 12-year-old boy. He's crazy. He wants to show everyone that he's, he may be the old king's son, but he's really, really tough. He's going to get vindication and glory and da-da-da-da. So he's going to take out Tarek Geiger. Sure, buddy. And that's really the end of it. We just get the base origin story of Geiger in this. Now, another thing I want to learn is why Las Vegas is still intact. Obviously, there's nobody around here, right? But why is it still intact? Why wasn't it affected? The structures of Las Vegas affected by the bomb. So I'm curious to find that out. And then we get some really cute, Easter eggs here. We get a map of all the people we're going to learn. And if you, Jeff Johns, I love you. But if you want to separate yourself from DC a little bit, and this is your own creator own property, I get that. Don't make characters that look like DC characters. Starting with Tarek Geiger at first, the whole Spectre meets Dr. Phosphorus look. And then we get another character that looks very similar to Punchline. Just separate yourself. I get it. You want to do your own thing, and that's totally admirable. But separate yourself. So we're going to learn all about these people. We need to learn first why these structures are still here, why they haven't been affected. And then you get this, and I'm excited. I didn't know this was even coming out. Peter Tomasi and Brad Walker. They got taken off of Detective Comics, right? So I wish they wouldn't have. I loved their little run there, introducing Nakano and everything. But they got taken off. So they were like, hey, we're going to go make our own book. Scott Snyder and Geoff Johns decided to do. He's the gun, she's the bullet. All right, I'm down. I'll definitely be, looking into it. But then we get a little bit of a Junkyard Joe by Maury Davis. So this is that book he had back at his place, and it's just a cute little any Saturday morning not Saturday morning, like in the Sunday paper, right? And they want to be more like this robot. That's perfect. So they start drinking. Oh yeah, honey, that's just not gonna work. But even so, I really, really enjoyed this. I thought it was a really good start to a story. But like I said, there are there are a lot of similarities to what we're seeing at DC. So I think that separation needs to be made, because that reminder is always going to be there. Doomsday Clock is super, super popular, right? So we need to get kind of, out of that limelight. And I think that can be done. I just, it's just going to take a little bit of time. So anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. I really enjoyed it. I will say I gave it a recommendation. I probably give it an 8. There's just a few questions I have. We'll see if they get answered. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskart, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content, and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.